In 1953, during President Dwight Eisenhower's first year in office, and 1 year before McDonald's opened their first restaurant, the Enbridge Line 5 oil pipeline was built through a collaboration between Enbridge and the Bechtel Company. The Bechtel Company is famously known for building the Mackinac Bridge and the Hoover Dam. The pipeline is 645 miles long and was designed to transport oil from Superior, Wisconsin to Sarnia, Ontario, as a means to reduce freighter traffic on the Great Lakes. At the time the pipeline was built, it was viewed as an engineering marvel. The pipe itself is built out of nearly 1-inch thick pipe and is the thickest pipe in the entire Enbridge system. It was pressure tested for 1700 psi, but the actual operating pressure on average is 150 psi. According to Enbridge's website, Line 5 carries nearly 500,000 barrels a day of light crude oil, light synthetic crude oil, and natural gas liquids. That being said, Line 5 supplies 85% of the propane that heats the homes of those in the Upper Peninsula and northern Michigan. Furthermore, Enbridge states that the crude oil meets increasing demands from refineries in Michigan and Ohio for back-end light crude oil. About 30% of that light crude stays in the region where it is processed by refineries in the greater Detroit area and used to power industry, as well as turn into gas, diesel, and jet fuel to assist the economy. Lastly, Enbridge.com reports that removing Line 5 would result in the loss of about 56,000 barrels per day of available crude supply and 15,000 barrels per day of available propane from the Michigan economy. That is the energy equivalent of enough gas to fill 120,000 passenger cars and light-duty vehicles per day, enough jet fuel to move 92 commercial planes or 18,500 passengers, enough diesel to fill up 900 freight-carrying semi-trucks, or enough propane to heat 240,000 homes with about 1,100 square feet of living space each. There are many reasons why the public is concerned about Line 5, but the most profound issue is that the 30-centimeter pipe splits into two 20-centimeter pipes running along the bottom of the Mackinac Straights, thus doubling the chances of a potential oil spill. Now, although Enbridge assures the public that the pipe is structurally sound, their company has had more than 800 spills in North America between 1999 and 2010, resulting in 6.8 million gallons of oil spilled into the environment. These spills include the 2010 spill in the Kalamazoo River, which caused 1.1 million gallons of oil to enter the river. This particular oil spill is known as the worst inland pipeline spill in the lower 48 to date. Aside from the company's spotty track record, Line 5 suspends over a 250 to 300 foot deep underwater canyon that is a quarter-mile wide. Unfortunately, there is no information available from Enbridge or the government about how this particular segment is supported. Since Line 5 carries bitumen and diluted bitumen, which are not only highly acidic, but they also contain high concentrations of heavy metals. What this means is that these contaminants sink in water, causing oil to spread through all depths, as witnessed in the Kalamazoo River spill. Since Line 5 transports diluted raw tar sand oils, also known as diluted bitumen, or dilbit, this requires higher operating pressures, which in turn heats the line. Additional factors to consider are that the pipe has endured nearly 60 years of fierce underwater currents, external pressures, and varying temperatures. Also, strong currents oscillate water between the lakes at 3 to 4 feet per second. At times, this is 50 times greater than the flow of the St. Clair River. According to Enbridge Energy's emergency response plans, it would take a minimum of 8 minutes to shut down a ruptured pipeline and isolate the flow of oil leaking from the pipe. Estimates of an 8-minute spill in the Mackinac Straits would result in 1.5 million gallons of oil released. Students at the University of Michigan conducted 840 simulations of a potential spill in the Straits and have concluded that within 6 hours the oil could reach the shores of Wilderness State Park on Lake Michigan. After 12 hours, the spill would reach Sheboygan, and after 24 hours, the spill would reach the shores of Beaver Island, Charlevoix to the west, and Rogers City to the east. Additionally, a spill in the Straits damages whitefish fishery worked by Native American tribal fishermen, providing fish to scores of restaurants across the region. On top of the irreversible damage that a potential spill would cause to the ecosystems in the Great Lakes region, there would also be a major impact on a $16 billion recreational boating economy, a $7 billion fishery industry, and the drinking water that supplies 30 million people in the US and Canada. Additionally, this would be a major setback for the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative that already spent $1 billion in cleanups. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife would add that beyond the immediate threats to the fish and wildlife, oil spills affect spawning of trout and salmon species that are highly sensitive to oil toxins. Lastly, citing new research and documentation that reveals cracks, dents, and erosion, as well as structural defects, environmental and tribal groups have requested that Michigan Governor Rick Schneider and the Attorney General shut down Line 5 due to Enbridge's permit violations. As you can tell, the pending decision that will determine the future of Line 5 is ultimately a choice between oil and fresh water. They both contribute to the economy, but only one of them is safe to drink. If you wish to see Line 5 out of the Mackinac Straits, go to oilandwaterdon'tmix.org and sign the petition today.